Ladies and gentlemen, Tesla is officially down over 50% from all-time highs, and it's crazy to say that out loud, but the darling of the pandemic, that 10, 15x, whatever it was, it is down in half right now over the past year from 414 to now 205 as of Friday's close. So we got to break down Tesla in this video, my thoughts, some numbers, upcoming earnings, which are this week, guys. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee, hit that like button, and feel free to subscribe, and let's dive into the video. So again, Tesla is down over 50% from last year, November roughly, so about 11 months ago, it was at 415 to now 205. And if you guys looked at the markets this past Friday, this actually got down to 203 after the market, or after market hours here. So by the looks of it, and really we're coming up to a big support at 200 here from a couple months ago. By the looks of it, if we break under this point, which we already technically took the lows out here in the aftermarket on Friday, but if we take out the 202 low, 203, 204 low, which again we're slowly doing that, we're probably going under 200, guys. I mean, this is probably, the selling is going to accelerate. So this week, we have earnings. We have earnings on Wednesday after the bell. I think that's the 19th. Or is that on Wednesday or Tuesday? Either way, we have them on the 19th of October, this upcoming week, which this is going to be a very big quarter for Tesla. And if you guys didn't see, this past Sunday, I believe, we got the delivery numbers, or maybe not this past Sunday, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Recently, we got the delivery numbers for the third quarter. They delivered 343,830 cars and produced 365,923 cars. And make sure you guys stick on throughout, because we're going to dive into the investor presentation from last quarter in a couple of minutes, where we're actually going to see how much money is on the top line from cars, from other products, and so forth. So this came under the Wall Street estimate, and I believe the stock did sell off after, it's been selling off, so of course it sold off after this news came out very recently, because again, it came under Wall Street's estimates for deliveries. And even though that happened, we got to give Tesla props here. Their numbers for deliveries for the third quarter this year were up about 90,000 from last year. So year over year, we're talking pretty good growth still for Tesla. But again, the stock has been just getting destroyed, quarter after quarter this year, week after week, and especially these past couple of weeks, it has been a bloodbath. So my take technically is, it looks like we're heading under 200, even though we do have a bit of a bullish divergence. Well, then again, let me be careful with what I'm saying here, because we have earnings coming up. Anything could happen with Tesla on earnings. A case you could make as well is it's down so much. It's down 35% heading into earnings. A lot of the bad news could be baked in already. It probably is. Who knows? Unless anything comes out of left field with Twitter and Elon, of course, which that's the problem right now as well. Let's say earnings come in pretty nice, pretty good. They do well. Let's say guidance is strong. That could end up ripping Tesla maybe back to 230, 225, 245. This could happen fairly quickly. And you guys that track Tesla, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm kind of 50-50. I'm not going to be doing any short-term plays. I'm not going to do puts or calls or sell or buy or do anything right now with Tesla with earnings coming up. But I'm going to be watching it pretty dang closely, guys, and you bet we're going to be covering it here on the channel. So do you guys remember how in my last video that I talked a little bit about Tesla, I mentioned how there's really two major camps when it comes to Tesla, and you guys know this, right? The cult followers that whatever Elon Musk does, that's the way you got to go. Elon Musk is God, Tesla's the best. You got the cult followers, the people in the middle that are kind of like myself, right? I see, both sides here. And then you have people that are on the other side that think Tesla's just a car company. Elon's, a grifter, a fraud. He's just, well, maybe not a fraud, but he's like a salesman, a snake oil salesman. He's just trying to, fluff everything up and make a bunch of money, and then he's using Tesla as his piggy bank to try and buy Twitter, and they're just a car company. You know what I mean, right? So there's a lot here, and let's see in the numbers what they actually make money from. And I'm not dogging on Tesla here, guys, But we're going to be honest, and we're going to look through these numbers, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion. So at this point in time, this is the report from the last quarter, and let me make sure you guys can see it. We're not going to go through everything, but we are going to just talk a little bit about this. So automotive revenues, the top line here, came in at $14.6 billion, right? Which was up 43% year over year. Pretty good. We got $344 million from regulatory credits. Automotive gross profit was right around $4 billion. That's 41% year over year. Let's see here. Total revenues came in just shy of about $17 billion, up 43% year over year. Total gross profit was 4.2 billion. Total GAAP gross margin was 25%. Let's see here. Operating expenses came in at 1.7 billion. Operating margin 14.6%. And if we continue to come down here a little bit, free cash flow, free cash flow positive here for Q2, which from Q1, I mean, geez, that was a huge drop. Q1 free cash flow was 2.2 billion. Q2 was 600 million, or 600 million, which that's a big drop from 2.2 billion, obviously. And if we come down here a little bit, we're going to see the different segments in terms of their vehicles, right? The S and X, the 3 and Y, Model S and X, Model 3 and Y. This is for production, and obviously they're producing way more Model 3s and Ys than the Model S's and the X's. In Q2, they produced 16,000 Model S and X's, opposed to the 242,000, compared to the 242,000 Model 3 and Y. So you can see the crazy the big distinction there, right? The big difference. And if we come down here a little bit more, I really wanted to show you all. There's a bunch of pictures here, and there's a bunch of, this is some good stuff. You guys got to go through this and look at it for yourselves. If you want to look at this for Tesla or any company out there, all you have to do is type in the company and then investor relations, and then it'll take you to the page. This is simply Tesla's investor relations page, and I'm not sure, can you guys see this? Let me double check. Yep, you can see it. I went here, clicked Q2, download the shareholder deck, and then boom, this is what we got. So to everybody that says Tesla only sells cars right now, that's a pretty good point, really, and the numbers back it up. If you look here at Q2 2022, and I know I'm not sure if you guys could really see it, but we're going to talk about it. So listen, automotive sales for the company came in at $13.6 billion, right? Automotive regulatory credits, $344 million. $588 million from automotive leasing, it looks like. Let me make sure that line's right. Yes, it is, 588. So that's total automotive revenue of $14.6 billion, right? You guys see that number right there? Are you following along here? And now, if we go under here, we have energy generation and storage. That's different, right? From automotive. That's $866 million. And then we have services and other, which is $1.4 billion. And notice how here, over the past couple of quarters, services and other, that's been growing pretty nicely. I mean, if we're looking at Q2 2021, services and other was at $950 million in revenue. They just did a year later about 1.5 billion, right? So that's a pretty nice growth of about 40-50%, whatever that is. So services and other is growing. Energy generation and storage is also growing. It's trending in the right direction, which is solid. It was at 8, well, maybe not as much as services and other, but energy generation and storage last year in the same quarter, Q2, that I'm looking at, based on this report, which was Q2, right? This was at $800 million, and they just did about $866 million based on, as of this report, right? So what I'm trying to get at is the other segments of revenue that are coming in right now, they're growing a little bit, but at this point, $14.6 billion came from total automotive revenue, and their total revenues are $16.9. So do the math, guys. 14.6 divided by, or whatever the heck it is, 16.9, or whatever the math is on that. That is a massive part of the revenues right now. A lot of the revenues, and a lot of people know that, but people maybe that don't look deep into the financials, maybe they're just an outsider looking in, that they're just seeing Tesla and they're seeing Elon talk about robots and the robo-taxi network and everything. People probably think a lot of money comes from other avenues, right? But at this point, it's still really focused on the automotive part of the business, as a lot of you guys probably, again, already knew. But just to clear that up, a lot of their money, top line, comes from cars still. And who knows? I mean, is this going to be the case 5-10 years from now? I don't think so. I think there is going to be a lot of future avenues that Tesla could go down. We're not going to get into that in this video, but we do have, again, the robo-taxi, batteries, charging network. I mean, there's a lot of things that Tesla is going to be able to make money on. But right now, in this point in time, they're making most of their money from cars. And that's why a lot of people were like, hey, the stock's overvalued, right? The stock's overvalued. They're only making money from cars right now. Why? What's up with this huge valuation? And the stock's down 50%, guys. And as of now, let's look quickly here at their unaudited balance sheet. Current assets, $18.3 billion. Current liabilities, $11.2 billion. So that's good. Current assets more than current liabilities. Let's see cash and cash equivalents, $590 million. Elon's probably tapping into that for what's it called, right? Or that's not even nearly enough for how much he needs for Twitter. but he's probably selling stock. I mean, he's been doing that, right? So let's see what else we got here. Short-term marketable securities, yada yada yada. I don't want to get too deep into this, but overall, you guys kind of get where I'm coming from, right? At this point, I'm in the middle. I've said that before, time and time again. Tesla, I do believe there's a lot of future avenues they're going to be able to go down. Robo-taxi, this, that, the third. But then again, with the robo-taxi, realistically, I mean, when is that even going to be a reality? Are we seeing anything like that on the roads right now? I mean, do you guys realize how much government action is going to need to take place? How much regulation there's going to need to be for this to even go through? Laws, yada yada yada. I mean, are we even close to that? Is the robo-taxi network really a 1 to 2 year thing away? There's no shot. Is it a 5-year thing away? Maybe. But me personally, I'm leaning more towards robo-taxi being more like a 10-year thing out. Maybe by 2030, we're seeing these things riding around without people, right? I mean, it all depends on who you're talking to, how long you want to hold the stock, your assumptions, what you think the growth is going to be, the cash flow, the profits. And for that reason, guys, it's a bit of an uncertain time right now. I'm kind of staying away from Tesla. I know a lot of you might be like, Stas, what the heck are you talking about? You're not buying Tesla. I'm not buying Tesla. I own a little bit of it. I've taken a lot of profits on the stock. I mean, over the past 2 years, right? I mean, I haven't really sold any Tesla in recent memory. But, when it was ripping up, I was taking profits. And at this point, sure, if it gets down to like 125, 150, maybe I'll add a little bit more. Or maybe even as a short-term trade, I might play it. We'll see. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. You guys will see that, and check out the Patreon. You get all my moves, in real time, call outs as well, linked right down below. But we'll see. I mean, at this point, there's a lot of uncertainty. Supply chain, recession, inflation. So with Tesla, it's going to be one that I feel like could be going down more in the short term, and that's the way the chart is setting up. To leave you guys with this, we have a clear descending triangle. I mean, do you guys not see this? The second this thing takes 200 out, it is bye-bye. I mean, it's bye-bye in the short term at least. It's probably going down to 175, 180, and if these earnings bomb, guys, that's going to be fuel to the fire. Tesla's going to be getting hammered down. So that's pretty much it for this video. It wasn't like a huge deep dive fundamental look, but we talked a little bit about it. And I almost forgot, for this upcoming quarter, projections. I almost forgot, guys. If you guys stuck till the end, let me know in the comments. Stay stuck till the end. Average revenue, I was rambling for 2 months. I forgot to mention this. Average revenue is looking to be $22.07 billion on EPS of about $1. That's based on numbers I got from Yahoo Finance. And, based on, I think, 25 analysts or something like that. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, last quarter they did, I forget what the number was, $17 billion roughly. Are they going to come in at 22? I don't know. We shall see. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe. Get your 15 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit and your 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. And don't forget to check out my Patreon. All of those are linked down below. And with that being said, cheers, guys. I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.